there's still time till February comes, man. February's still a long way away. If Chelsea, in their present state, in their present unprofessional state, turn up to Munich, they'll get circumcised, potentially sacrificed. So that's why this January window is very important. This should have been an easy 2-0, 3-0 from Chelsea. So Chelsea really have themselves to blame. One of the goals of the season, 100%. I still think Son's goal is going to win a goal of the season, but this might be the second goal of the season with an outstanding overhead scissors kick. And for Graham Potter and his Brighton side, man, based on how they came back in the second half, I felt they were the stronger team in the second half, particularly in the second half of the second half. They were aggressively moving forward, playing a higher line, making it a lot difficult for Chelsea. And I think Chelsea looked very raggedy, specifically in defense. Nothing was connecting in midfield. And I think that they were just not really being able to really be effective in the final third. And I know, in games like these, whether you're playing a medium team, every team, or whatsoever, you have to be able to ensure that your breakaways are fruitful. And look, you look at that first half. I think it was 3-2 where Tammy Abraham had the ball. And look, Tammy, he didn't have a great game because there were a few instances where like, you're just making a bad decision that you don't need to go for that cross. You don't need to, because if you go for that cross, it's just going to be blocked. But in that instance there, Tammy, you've got Willian on the overlap. And you've got Homeboy, I think Pulisic as well on the other overlap. You have guys in the space that the obvious play is because the defender is worried that you may shoot. The defender knows that you're going to go out wide, but the defender has to watch you. Just draw him in, and at the very last second, forcing him to make a decision. You give a through ball to Willian, and that's probably a goal. You give Willian the right kind of ball that he can strike possibly first time or just take one touch. That's a goal. And at 2-0, it's game over. At 2-0, it's game over. Then it's about, could it be 3-0, could it be 4-0, or could it just be 2-1? But when you do not take that, you give Brighton hope. And I think Brighton were given hope by they didn't go down again. And again, in the second half, Mason Mount. I don't want to get on Mason Mount. Okay, he had an okay game. I still don't think that he should really be in the side, but he had an okay game. Again, another breakaway from Mount. Bro, just lay the ball off. Lay the ball off. But again, he went for the shot. The shot was blocked. So these bad decisions lead to points being dropped. And Chelsea, like there are so many games where Chelsea shouldn't be dropping these points. It's just, and I think, but specifically in the second half, even if they didn't take those chances, a lack of energy, a lack of cohesion, and a lack of chemistry and understanding between the midfield and the attack. And that's the thing that's football is about matchups. It's about matchups. Brighton are a weaker side than Tottenham. They're also like West Ham are a weaker side than Tottenham. Bournemouth are a weaker side than Tottenham. But all because Brighton are an inferior side doesn't mean that the way you played against Tottenham is going to work against Brighton. So Chelsea had to figure out how. Okay, look, man, we have to change our game. We have to change how we attack. Like in particular, so where Reece James come in a lot more into the center, make much more of a diagonal run. Tommy Abraham gave him much more support. I think what he needed was maybe to have guys closer to him. I still believe that Mount is cool, but I just don't see how Mount is being effective in this game. I'm not putting him out there, hanging him out to dry. But my thing is that if you first of all, bro, you've got to keep a formation because by ensuring and keeping a formation and by keeping a consistent formation, that is how you breed a chemistry, and chemistry is the key ingredient to winning games. Because if you have a great chemistry figures out how to win in games. Even if you're not playing well, as long as like we know each other by the back of our hands, we know the spacing by the back of our hands, we will find a way to score because we know the team too well. We keep changing the team time and time again. You don't have that chemistry flowing through. Um, so so that's how I'm going there. So I just think, look, man. But with the 4-3-3, man, I just think that because Kante just does a better job in bringing the ball forward, because he's the man that can break from main midfield and actually connect very well with the front three of Pulisic, Willian, and Tom Abraham. I think the key thing of what Chelsea wants is obviously bringing back Loftus-Cheek because I think once Loftus-Cheek comes back, I think he's going to be a guy that really helps to because I think basically that's basically Chelsea. Okay, look, you a season is a very, very long time. You cannot play the same exact way and keep getting goals and keep getting wins. You have to chop and change. You have to chop and change. You have to chop and change. If you keep playing the same way, guys will figure you out. And I think what is happening with Chelsea right now is, whereas in the early parts they would, Pulisic would find space, William would find space, Tan would find space. They would be able to break the lines and give these guys space. Now they're not. That's not happening. And which is why I said before, there are several ways, a myriad of ways to attack. So I just think that even if Lampard needs to tweak how the movement of the players go, maybe introduce a Batshuayi a lot earlier, see what Batshuayi does and see how his defense runs can actually help inspire the team. And I think this was a game in which, at 1-0, I don't know whether, so at 1-1, I don't know whether all the subs were used. Introduce a Batshuayi because he may bring something new. But I think what a Loftus-Cheek will bring to this team is something different going forward. Because remember, Kante is a man of all seasons. He doesn't specialize in being an attacking guy. But for Loftus-Cheek, that is what he specializes in. He's excellent at bringing the ball forward. He's extremely strong, great upper body strength. So by Loftus-Cheek now coming forward, that's a guy that we know that he can bring the ball forward. He has great balance. We know that he can distribute the ball well. But the key thing as well, he is another attacking component that can score goals. Because I just think that, which is why I say, like, January, window is open. I think it is very apparent. It is very apparent that an inside forward is needed. An inside forward is needed because, you see, for me, the thing with me is that, like, look, I actually like, if you're going a 4-3-3, the way that Barcelona play, I think, is the best way to play now. Not everyone can play like that based on the technicalities, but for me, if you're playing a 4-3-3, I think you have your wing backs who supply your width, and those front three, they literally play within the center of the pitch, and they literally just ping the balls back and forth to go through the middle of the pitch. And if there's no space, then hit it out for your wing backs. But the issue you're having is Willian and Pulisic, they're natural wingers. They're natural wingers. So their preference is to move the ball out wide and combine with the wing back. So what that means is that Tammy Abraham is now isolated. But what you really want, because Tammy Abraham is just a naturally good football player, are guys to surround him in the middle of the pitch and have 1-2s ping, 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 ping to try and create that through ball opportunity to try and score a goal, which is the pretty much 80% of the ways that, especially under Pep, Barcelona used to score. So, but I just think that it is worrying because this team isn't ready yet to face Bayern. No way. At the way they are currently right now, they are not ready. Because Bayern Munich will take this team apart. And I'm talking at the bridge, and maybe the alliance, but I'm talking at the bridge. Bayern Munich will take this team apart. But just think that what Lampard and Jody Morris have to work on is, first of all, which is what I said before, you have to have a stable lineup. Because if you don't have a stable lineup, your team doesn't have a personality. Your team has to have a personality, a strong fiber, a strong identity. If they do not have an identity, then it's like, okay, well, maybe this formation will work, or maybe this formation will work. Okay, maybe we can change it. And that is always a risky thing to do because maybe you change the formation can win you this game, but you don't want to win one game. You want to win 5 games in a row, 6 games in a row. And to win 5, 6, 10 games in a row, you need a stable, consistent lineup and a familiarity, But I said again, top four is going to be tricky. And this is what I said, that United do have a great chance. They have a great chance. Tottenham have a great chance because this Chelsea team, I don't see a consistency here. I just do not see a consistency. And I think this is going to be a very important window in general because even again, another thing that I saw is that for me, see, Azpilicueta is a very good defender. Specifically a defender. But this is an attacking team. This isn't in Romerito, this is an attacking team. And an attacking team in modern football, your wing backs are extremely important. They're not important. They're extremely important. Hence why you see how useful and how much Reece James is being used. So what you have is whenever now Chelsea now have a breakaways and they now want to now push the ball out wide left, Azpilicueta isn't not giving them that. There were times in the second half where the ball was pushed out wide to Azpilicueta because he's right-footed. and is not naturally left-footed. What she wants is either as soon as he has the ball, he drives straight and then can then hit the cross with his left, or be able to control, stand his man up, shift, extra yard, hit it. I think only once that second half he was able to cross the ball with his left foot. So there are a lot of issues there with the team, but I still believe that if you take Loftus-Cheek out, the core of the midfield of being Kovacic, Jorginho, and Kante works well. I think because you don't understand having similar to a defense, but having a midfield that people know is key. The reason why Barcelona were so many was because Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, they knew what each other did very well. The reason why Real Madrid won 3 sales in a row is because Toni Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro, they knew each other very well. Having a consistent 3 in midfield. Okay, that's what I say. Whether it's a 2 or a 3, but for Chelsea, it's obvious 4-3-3 is what it's about. So having that ever-present 3 is what will really help the team hugely. So it is what it is, man. Remember, for those who are on the Partner app, I'll be doing live reactions of the games today, specifically Man City, Everton, and of course Arsenal, Man United. If you're new, remember to subscribe for daily football videos, and remember to hit that like button, man. Peace out, stay true for more things, man. Peace. Same is minimum.